All right, so let's continue with item number 8. What is the term for a unique name, symbol, or design that identifies a produce and differentiates it from competitors? Is it a inventory? Let it be brand, let it see liability, or let it be capital. What is your choice? Item number 8. Kapag unique name, no? Symbol. Ano po ba yung tawag dyan? Is it a inventory? Let it be brand, let it see liability, or let it be capital? Of course, kapag na-encounter po natin, no, sa actual board examination, yung ganitong mga tanungan, yung tamang choice natin dito would be the letter B, no? Yan po yung ating brand mismo. Okay, nalaman po natin, kapag sinabi po nating brand, no, or branding, of course, ito po yung unique name, di ba? Yung mga symbols, yung mga logos, no, or design used by a company to identify its products or services and distinguish them from the competitors. Okay, and of course, yung mga famous brands natin dito would be the Nestles, okay? Yung mga Coca-Cola, di ba? Yung mga ating mga McDonald's, no? Yung ating KFCs, okay? That is what we call the brand mismo. What about the inventory? Yung dapat naman po nating tandaan, no? Kapag sinabi po nating inventory, of course, it refers to the goods or products that a business has in stock for sale. Okay? Yan po yung ating inventory mismo. Kapag liability, of course, ito po yung ating mga financial obligations. Kapag capital naman, of course, it refers to the money or resources no used to start or operate a business. Okay, so ano pa po? Item number 8, letter B po, yung ating tumpak na choice. We go to item number 9. What is the process of mise en place in a professional kitchen? Is that a garnishing the food before serving? Letter B, washing the dishes after cooking. Letter C, organizing and preparing all ingredients before starting to cook. Or letter D, evaluating the taste of the final product. Ano po yung tumpak na choice kapag pinag-usapan po natin yung ating mise en place. Okay, so ano po yung tumpak na choice natin dito? I see letter C is, and of course that is correct, no? Organizing and preparing all ingredients before stopping to cook. Okay, pag sinabi po natin mise en place, again, tandaan po natin, ito po yung French, no? French term for everything in its place. Kumbaga, yung ibig sabihin nito, no, bago po tayo magluto, dapat lahat po ng mga gagamitin natin, no, lahat po ng ating mga ingredients ay preparado na to ensure no to ensure efficiency and prevents burning food while looking for ingredients. Okay? Yan po yung ating mise en place na tinatawag. It means everything in its place. No? Kaya letters po yung ating tumpak na choice. We go to item number 10. Which vitamin is fat soluble? Meaning, it requires dietary fat to be absorbed by the body. Again, kapag fat-soluble type of nutrient or vitamin, this is what we call Laricino. Yan po yung ating vitamin A mismo. Okay, tanda lamang po natin, kapag sinabi po nating vitamin A, ito po yung ating fat-soluble vitamin, no? Meaning, nadi-dissolve po siya no in fat, di ba? And nagre-require po ng dietary fat no for proper absorption in the body. And of course, yung purpose po nito no is to support vision, immune function, and healthy skin. Okay, yan po yung ating vitamin A. Kapag vitamin C, of course, ito po ay water-soluble vitamin no, that dissolves in water. And of course, it is not stored in the body for long periods. Okay, yan po yung ating vitamin C. Yung ating vitamin B12, of course, ito po nabibilang no, sa ating mga B-complex group. And of course, makukonsider po natin ito as water-soluble. Kapag letter D naman yung ating vitamin B6, of course, tandaan po natin, ito din po ay halimbawa ng ating water-soluble. We go to item number 11. What is the culinary term for cutting vegetables into very small uniform cubes? Is that A, bonwa, letter B, bâtonnet, letter C, julienne, or letter D, chiffonade? What is your choice? Item number 11. Kapag very small, uniform cubes, of course, yung tumpak na choice natin dito would be, this is letter A, no? Yan po yung ating brown one na tinatawag. Okay, tanda lamang po natin, kapag sinabi po nating brown one, of course, ito po yung ating culinary knife cut technique, no? Kung saan po yung ating mga vegetables are cut into very small, uniform cubes, typically about 3 millimeters on each side. Okay, yan po yung ating brown one, and of course, ito po yung kanyang itsura, no? Kapag bâtonnet po, tanda lamang po natin, kapag sinabi po natin bâtonnet, of course, this cup produces thicker, no? Thicker stick-shaped pieces, usually about 6 millimeters by 5 centimeters. Okay, yan po yung ating or 6 millimeters, no? By 6 millimeters by 5 centimeters. Okay, yan po yung ating bâtonnet na tinatawag. Kapag julienne po, of course, ito po ay much stick-like cuts. Okay, yan po yung ating julienne. Kapag chiffonade po, of course, ito po naman po yung klase ng technique, no, na ginagamit po natin mainly for leafy vegetables or herbs, okay, where they are rolled and sliced into thin ribbons. Okay, yan po yung ating chiffonade. We go to item number 12, which is sewing machine attachment is used to finish the raw edges of fabric to prevent fraying. Again, we're talking about here the attachment, no, that is used to finish the raw edges of fabric to prevent fraying. Is it a zipper foot? Letter B, buttonhole attachment. Letter C, over edger. Or letter D, seam ripper. What is your choice? Item number 12. Okay? So, if in case po, no, tinanong po sa actual board examination kung ano po yung praying, tandaan lamang po natin, ito po, no, ito po ay, kapag sinabi natin praying, it is when the edges of fabric start to unravel or come apart into loose threads. Okay? Yan po yung ating praying mismo, no? And of course, yung tumpak na choice natin dito would be letter C. Yan po yung ating over edger o yung ating zigzag stitch na tinatawag. Okay? Tandaan lamang po natin, kapag sinabi po natin over edger, of course, ito po ay ginagamit natin, no, to finish fabric edges to prevent fraying by sewing a zigzag pattern along the raw edge of the cloth. And of course, yung purpose po niyan is to para ma-strengthen po natin yung mga seam edges, no, and of course to improve durability in appearance of garments. Okay, yan po yung ating over edger o yung ating zigzag stitch na tinatawag. Kapag zipper foot, of course, ito naman po ay ginagamit natin, no, for installing zippers smoothly and accurately. Kapag buttonhole attachment, of course, ito naman po ay ginagamit natin for sewing buttonholes on garments. Kapag seam ripper, of course, ito naman po ay ginagamit natin, no, for removing or correcting stitches. Okay, we go to item number 13. When taking body measurements of a shirt, how is the bust measurement taken? Is that A, around the smallest part of the waist? Letter B, from the shoulder to the waist? Letter C, from one shoulder blade to the other? Or letter D, around the fullest part of the chest, keeping the tape horizontal? What is your choice? Item number 13. Again, kapag bust measurement, ano po yung tumpak na choice? Okay, pakilapag po, item number 13, kapag bust measurement. Okay, so what will be your choice here? I see letter D, and of course that is correct, no? Around the fullest part of the chest, keeping the tape horizontal. Okay, ano po ba yung itsura ng ating bust measurement? Ito po siya mismo, no? Tandaan lamang po natin, kapag sinabi po nating bust measurement, of course, this one is taken by wrapping the measuring tape around the fullest part of the chest while keeping the tape level and not too tight. Okay, sa chest po yan mismo. No? That is what we call the bust measurement. We go to item number 14 in basketry. What do you call the vertical stakes that form the skeleton of the basket? Again, the skeleton, the vertical stakes, ano po yung tawag dyan? Is that A, weavers? Letter B, spokes. Letter C, borders. Or letter D, coils. What is your choice? Item number 14. Kapag ganito po na-encounter natin, yung tupak na choice natin dito would be letter B, no? Yan po yung ating spokes na tinatawag. Okay? Tandaan lamang po natin, kapag sinabi po nating spokes, of course, tandaan po, ito po yung vertical or radial. Again, tandaan po. Okay, just wait for a while. Again, kapag sinabi po nating spokes, of course, ito po yung mga vertical, no, or radial stakes in basketry that serve as the foundation or framework of the basket. And of course, yung purpose po nito is para makapagbigay po ng structure and shape, no, allowing the weavers to pass over and under them when creating the basket wall. Okay, nakikita po ba ninyo yung mga vertical lines, yung mga vertical part po ng ating basket na ito? Yan po tinatawag natin ng mga spokes. Okay? And of course, ang weavers natin dito, tanda lamang po natin, of course, ito po yung mga materials, no, or strands that are woven around the spokes. Okay? Yan po yung ating mga weavers na tinatawag. Kapag borders po, tanda lamang po natin, of course, this refers to the finishing edges of the basket, not the structure. Okay? Yan po yung ating borders. We go to item number 15. Which type of floor wax is best for wooden floors to prevent water damage? Again, prevent water damage. Is it a liquid wax, letter B, paste wax, letter C, water-based wax, or letter D, soap and water only? Of course, yung tupak na choice natin dito would be letter B. No? Yan po yung ating paste wax na tinatawag. Okay, tanda lamang po natin, kapag sinabi po nating paste wax, of course, commonly ginagamit po natin ito, no, on wooden floors because it forms a thicker protective coating that helps seal the wood surface, reducing moisture penetration, and of course, to prevent water damage. Okay, yan po yung ating paste wax na tinatawag. Kapag liquid wax kasi of course easier to apply but provides a thinner layer of protection compared po sa ating mga paste wax. No? Okay, somehow ikas po yung ating letter A. Kapag water-based wax naman, of course, tandaan po natin, this one is more suitable for other floor types but may not provide the same level of protection no, for wood. Kaya ikas din po yung ating letter C. Kapag soap and water only, tandaan po natin ha, this is used for cleaning no, but not providing floor protection. We go to item number 16, which stitch is used to create a rope-like appearance. Again, rope-like appearance, often used for stems. Okay, ito na po yung sagot natin, no? Stems. Ano po yan? Is it a running stitch, larvae cross stitch, letter C stem stitch, or letter D French knot? Of course, ito paka-trace natin dito would be, this is letter C, no? Yan po yung ating stem stitch na tinatawag. Tandaan po natin, ito po yung itsura ng ating stem stitch. Ito po ay halimbawa po ng ating embroidery stitch, no? That forms is slightly twisted rope-like line, making it ideal po no, for outlining designs or creating plant stems in embroidery. Okay, yan po yung ating stem stitch mismo. Kapag running stitch kasi, of course, ito po ay simple, di ba? Simple straight stitch na ginagamit po natin no, for seams or temporary stitching. Kapag cross stitch po, of course, we are forming an X patterns no, for decorative filling. Kapag French knot naman, of course, it creates small raised dots, not lines. Kaya X din po yung ating letter T. We go to item number 17. Which of the following is a variable expense? Again, variable expense. Is it a monthly rent, letter B, insurance premiums, letter C, electricity bill, or letter D, car loan payment? Of course, yung paka-choice natin dito, kapag variable expense, of course, again, kapag sinabi po natin variable, ito po ay variable cost, no? The cost that changes depending on usage or consumption. Of course, kung may iba dito, no, would be our letter C. Yan po yung ating electricity bill mismo. Okay, tandaan mo po natin ha, kasi yung ating electricity bill natin dito, makukonsider po natin siya as variable expense because the amount varies based on how much electricity is used each month. Okay, may iba po, no? Depende, like for example, yung first month natin dito, no? Mababa yung electricity bill mo. And by the following month, okay, biglang lumaki na. Okay, that is what we call variable expense. May iba, no? Kapag monthly rent, yung ating insurance premiums, and even yung ating car loan payment, sila po ay halimbawa ng tinatawag natin na fixed expense no or fixed cost. Okay, so ano pa po natin? Item number 17, variable expense, that is electricity bill. Next one here. Item number 18, a student baked 20 pieces of cupcakes. The total cost of ingredients is 200. Okay, was 200. If the student wants to make 50% profit, how much should each cupcake cost? Is it a 5, letter B, 10, letter C, 15, or letter D, 20? Of course, yung pagka-choice natin dito would be, this is letter C, no? That is 15 pesos. Paano po natin yan na-solve? Easy lamang po, no? First, we have to compute the cost per cupcake by dividing the total cost, which is 200, by the number of cupcakes, which is 20. Okay, divide naman po natin, 200 divided by 20, that gives us 10. Okay? And of course, the second step here, to gain the 50% of profit, we just have to add no 50% of the cost price as markup. Okay? So we have to consider that 50% of 10, that is 5. Okay, multiply naman po natin yan ha, that is 0.5 times 10, no? That gives us 5, no? And of course here, therefore, no, para makuha po natin yung ating selling price natin dito, we just have to add our cost, no, per cupcake, which is 10. Idadaglag lamang po natin yung ating markup value, which is 5. And of course, that gives us 15 pesos, no? So that will be the selling price for each cupcake. We go to item number 19. Which type of fiber in fabric is known for its durability and resistance to wrinkles? Again, known for its durability and resistance to wrinkles. Is that a cotton, letter B, wool, letter C, silk, or letter D, polyester? Of course, kapag ganito po yung na-encounter natin, yung tupak na choice natin dito would be letter G, no? Yan po ay polyester. Okay, tanda lamang po natin, kapag sinabi po natin polyester, of course, ito po ay synthetic fiber, no? Highly valued in the textile industry, specifically for its durability, okay, matibay po siya, and wrinkle resistance, unlike po ng ating mga natural fibers, no? That it is engineered to be a wash and wear fabric that retains its shape and remains crisp, no? Without the need for frequent ironing. Okay, yan po yung ating polyester. We go to our last item for tonight. Item number 20. What is the best method for cleaning a wooden table? without damaging it. Is it A, using a damp cloth and mild soap? Letter B, using a steam cleaner. Letter C, scrubbing with a wire brush. Or letter D, soaking in water. Ano po yung tumpak na choice kapag best method, no, for cleaning a wooden table without damaging it? Of course, yung tumpak na choice natin dito would be letter A, di ba, using a damp cloth and mild soap. Okay, nalaman po natin ha, that using a damp and mild soap is the gentlest method for cleaning wood, okay? Kasi nga po, no, mild soap helps remove dirt and grime without causing water damage or warping, okay? And of course, this one is considered, no, as the best method among our options for cleaning a wooden table, no, without damaging it. Kaya letter A po, yung ating tumpak na choice. And of course, that ends our discussion tonight. Thank you po, no, for participating. And of course, this will be uploaded po sa ating mga private groups, okay? And of course, bago po tayo mag-iwalay, I would like to leave a saying here: do it scared, do it broke, do it tired, do it alone, just do it, okay? Thank you so much po, no, teachers, for participating. May God bless us all. Enjoy the rest of the night. And I pray and I hope na tayo po ay handang-handa na, no, para sa napapalapit na licensure examination for professional teachers. And let's claim and let's manifest that we will become a licensed professional teachers very, very soon. Okay, thank you so much po and enjoy the rest of the night.